Hi, it's Joanne. Today I'm going to be watching The Umbrella Academy Season 3, Episode 8, Wedding at the End of the World. So I'm guessing that for the long engagement, after knowing each other for a few weeks, we're having a speedy wedding. The world is ending though, so fair enough. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go. I trust nothing this man does. He knows a lot more about everything than he tells us. So he built the entire hotel around the gateway. Interesting. So how many people has he sent through over the years? And was this his entire reason for making a group of superpowered children? Jesus Christ. Somehow immune.
We're alive because we're special. Right? We're the only ones who can save the
Your
universe.
other siblings were also special.
Didn't we just try that and fail miserably?
Yeah.
Alison, if you're not going to contribute, go away.
But the fact remains that we are too late.
5. Come on.
Five never gives up.
What exactly have we accomplished?
A lot of world ending, but you saved it multiple times.
Don't save the world? Don't save the world.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
If we get brought through the Kugel Blitz, do we go through to a better place?
All we ever do is say
Maybe we're the problem. Oh yeah, us.
So
Alison, fuck off.
plan is
well.
Oh
On
god.
that super happy note, we've
They're still managing to be happy about this.
oh, hell.
They made it. Good, good. And say good. Oh, he's still here, of course.
Wait, did you just say you own the
Yes, his reprieve from the world was owned by his dad.
just now? We must not to be overly.
You.
Okay. Just follow my lead, Klaus.
Reginald, die, please.
And the thing is, space is limited.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a per plate situation.
Yes, you're not invited,
Is this how I
bitch.
raised you? You thought you could dope me up and slow me down?
Yes.
Take control of my affairs and squander my fortune? Well, Klaus here was good enough to wean me off
God.
that wretched poison. All of you could learn a thing or two from this impressive young man.
These children are so wrapped up in this man. They all still want... Well, some of them still want his attention and his pride.
We're running out of time, and we still have a mission to complete.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
These...
Yes. Project Oblivion?
I hate that they still want his approval.
I've always...
Nobody wants you here, Dad. You should leave.
Hey,
I'm proud of Luthor for standing up to him.
Feel free to join him.
This is what it's come to.
You're a piece of shit, Reginald. Abusive. Stay away from him. These are some dysfunctional adults because of that man.
The whole thing is last minute, but
What is it?
will you be my best man?
I hoped he was going to say that.
You don't have to do much, you know, you just have to stand next to me and make sure I don't...
That means the world.
I'd love to.
The bachelor party is in 15 minutes. Invited.
Like, I mean, they deserve a good time and a happy moment in their lives, and that will mean the absolute world to Victor, but I don't know that this is the best time.
I don't get why you're not fighting harder for this.
not all fights are worth fighting for, Diego. Odds are we don't survive this
I'll
one.
take those odds.
Why
if
is
I
she
get
stripping
respect from
him?
You and the baby.
Diego, you're so sweet. You deserve far better than her.
What happened to Mr. Lone Wolf? You can spend tonight fighting your bloody apocalypse or being with me.
Don't do it.
You can't have both.
You don't get to make ultimatums to him after everything you've put him through. And also, if there is a chance we could actually save the universe, or we could just accept it's going to die, I think we should try and save it, regardless of what Five's older version said. But you can't give him ultimatums. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't.
Waiting to crash tonight, baby.
We do? Why? No one wants me there.
Oh, come
No
on.
one does.
I want you to earn. Trust me.
Abusive dads don't get to go to weddings.
For Luthor.
Don't ruin the wedding. It shouldn't really be happening anyway, but you know. At least they're spending some bonding time.
Such a kind and thoughtful soul. He's not like our Hargreaves. Au contraire.
He is.
I needed a break. Cheers.
This is kind of like a family party without Alison.
That'd be me. Gonna be a duet, my friend.
Oh, yay! I feel so special.
I'm very, very scared right now. This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna miss them too.
We should fight to save the world if we can. This is ridiculous.
Talk to Allison.
It's up to Alison to apologise, not Victor.
I don't want her to be alone when all this ends.
Then get Diego to go and spend time with her. Get Five or Klaus or anyone to go and spend time with her. Break off your wedding and go spend time with her. And be done that way. Like, she killed Harlan with clear mind, full intention. And has been such a bitch to Victor when Victor has not been a bitch to her.
Why does it have to be on my list?
She's always been good to you.
This is nice. These are the moments I like. These are what I enjoy. The silly family moments. Give me more. They didn't invite you. No one wants you. I mean, it's very ridiculous that we're just giving up.
So it's official. Something big is about to go down.
I wish you were talking about my wedding.
They both are right to a degree. I think it's a little bit naive to just be like, oh fuck it, let's all die and we'll have the wedding. But at the same time, the point of view they have of, well, we keep trying to save the world and we just make it worse. Maybe we need to let this happen, especially if that's what old Five said. But on the flip side, if there is any chance to save the world, we should be doing it. But of course, the downside of that is, well, working with Reginald, can we trust that man? No.
Why is it so important for you to be a sparrow?
That's all he has. There's definitely, from the way he has been acting with Reginald, despite having drugged him all these years. There's that part of him that wants to impress him.
Ah, I see you've gone for the oversized button down. Original.
You do realize there's no paparazzi here, right?
What? Dang it.
Listen to me, you two. This is my day, all right?
Alison started that. I mean, Victor did respond, and probably trying to be supportive of Luthor shouldn't have done. But, like, there was no need. Alison can just continue ignoring Victor, like she has done this whole time.
So if you took...
Well, he started it, so...
Literally just started.
Alison is such a childish bitch today. So it would be nice if we could find a way to actually live to see the next day, and the next day, and the whole lifetime.
Love your lady.
I do.
As the world ends around them. But surely this should give us something to fight for. Like, after this night, we've had a reprieve from the stress, we've celebrated, and now... Klaus doesn't need anyone else to dance with.
Dad's different. He's a turtle. Hard on the outside, but all cute and wrinkly and...
No, he's not. Don't diss turtles like that, bitch.
Would you stop? Listen, you're being
Just-
duped. No, you are. You are.
I mean, he is, but there's also potentially, if Reginald does know a way to save the world, maybe we should look into it. Is he going to be a vaguely good father? Decent? Not terrible? Jesus Christ!
It is unfortunate timing.
What?
You'd have made a superb father.
Bit of emotional blackmail, though it's true, he should be fighting for the baby. Fighting for a world for the baby.
This hard candy shell. Why don't you like me? Because you're a huge pucker.
And you've been nothing but horrible every single time.
Why?
It shouldn't all be on Victor. I hope Alison also apologises.
But will you please just hear me out?
She deserves.
Sloane,
Alison does not deserve Victor coming over there and being
always known you were
polite.
exceptionally bright.
But you're more important to me than anything in this entire world. Will you forgive me?
No,
Victor deserves better than you.
I don't think I will.
I'm proud.
Cool, we don't forgive you. See ya. She still hasn't apologised to Luthor. Even if she doesn't think she did anything wrong with Harlan, she must fucking know she did something wrong with Luthor.
If you won't forgive me, just know I forgive you.
For what?
For being a bitch.
I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I'm really tired of being the asshole that has to meet you halfway. I am tired of being a sucker.
You're the sucker?
Our whole life.
Victor is literally meeting you halfway right now.
To be close, and we finally got there, and you fucked it up.
My god, Victor made one mistake, which is a totally fucking understandable one when you actually look at it from anybody else's point of view. And I know she's grieving Claire and Ray, but she fucked up with Claire long before. She fucked up with Claire all by herself and was trying to make that right when they ended up back in the past. But like, it's not Victor's fault. The pain Alison is feeling is not Victor's fault. It's not like Victor intentionally let Harlan do what he did or anything like that. I'm just so angry at Alison right now.
The sun rises over a
Victor, you deserve better. Alison can leave and we'll take Sloane as our extra family member. You have done everything you can. Alison is choosing to be a bitch, so we cut her off. We don't have to put up with toxic people in our lives. Alison could have been part of this, but no. Bless them. These are the scenes I live for. Scenes that show you that however dysfunctional they are, they still love each other. Though we fucking need to stop the Kugel Blitz. Or is the Kugel Blitz just a gateway to a different universe and we could go through it?
That's more like it.
Very toxic, yes.
I would have been a shit mom.
You could have learned.
I doubt that. Hey guys.
You'd have loved that kid. Family.
Son, tonight is all I ever really wanted. Everybody coming together when it
That's
really
all
matters.
I want as well for them, and in real life obviously, but for them. The perfect night, as perfect as it could be, because it was real, comes to an end. And we've got 2 episodes left to actually save the day. Is he getting the, like, being near to his other self feelings? It's his other self, right? Another self, at least, because he was getting the being close to himself wibblies. Okay, so in some ways, this episode was one of my favourites of the season because it involved a lot of just the family coming together. There were a lot of wholesome moments, and it reminded us that however much they disagree and fight and are fucking dysfunctional, and as much it does frustrate me that the writers don't include as many scenes like this to show us that they actually care about each other as they should, this really showed you that at the end of the day they do all care about each other. And even people like Ben, he wants to fit in, and for so long that was trying to prove that he was better than everybody else so that Reginald would love him, and now he just wants the family to accept him, and it'd be interesting to see what he's like when he's sober going forwards. So aside from Alison, at least Alison was actually happy for Luthor, it was actually really lovely to see them kind of come together and be a family, and Luthor asking Victor to be his best man and everything. That it was very sweet, and all of the like drunken singing and their dancing and everything, absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I think it's a little frustrating because you're like, it's hard because I can totally understand Five's point of view of like every time we try to save the world we have made it worse. My own future self told me to not bother trying to save the world, so therefore let's just give up. And also there don't seem to be any ideas, but I think at the very as much, and then also the fact that Reginald is the one coming in with this supposed idea when all I'd want to do is tell him to fuck right off because he's an abusive piece of shit. But I can also see the flip side of what, let's at least hear what Reginald has to say, and if his idea is stupid as fuck and dangerous and dumb and we don't think it's gonna work, then we can just be like, have fun doing that by yourself, Reg. So I think they should listen to him, and I hope they do in the next episode. But obviously the fact that he's making some deal with someone and Five was getting the wibbly wobblies, which, I mean, it could just be that he was extraordinarily drunk because he was extraordinarily drunk, but I mean, he wasn't itching, was he? Which is one of the symptoms of being close to your other self. I don't know whether he was just ridiculously drunk or whether he was having the wibblies. But he was making some kind of deal, and it seemed like it wasn't something he was talking to everybody else about, and you can never fucking trust Reginald. So we will see. Alison continues to be disappointing, not even coming remotely halfway. And I know, I can't even begin to imagine what she has lost. But it's like she's just decided that it is entirely Victor's fault. that she is feeling this pain when it isn't. And you know, all Victor tried to do was not kill someone who caused a lot of death without meaning to. And if anybody can understand what it's like to cause death without meaning to, it is Victor, who's been through similar things to Harlem and has had, you know, they all wanted to lock him up because he was going to destroy the world and hurt people when it wasn't something that was fully within his control, exactly like what happened with Harlem when he killed their mothers. So yes, it's going to hit very close home for Victor, especially when that was someone that he also cared about as a child. If we were to come across, I know it's different, but an adult Claire, and Claire was going to kill everybody, would we be like, oh, actually, Anna, someone's going to go murder her because everyone says that's what we have to do? Of course not. Now, I know it's different, Claire's a little child, but it's a similar circumstance. And I just find Alison so frustrating, refusing to even remotely come halfway, being, and not even just like when they walked into the wedding, all she needed to do was ignore Victor and talk to Luthor. It would have been on par with how she'd been treating him all episode. She just needed to be like, oh Luthor, that tux looks nice, or whatever, and then just ignore Victor. Totally fine. But instead, she made some comment about Victor's outfit, which of course Victor then responded with. Even though she couldn't take Luthor's day as a time to just at least be silent and not fucking awful. I really don't understand what they're doing with Alison. It's one thing to have her be a little bit off the rails, but she sexually assaulted Luthor and it's acting like she did nothing wrong. She murdered somebody in cold blood and she's like, couldn't care less about it. And people, like, Five gave Victor the I'm worried about you becoming a villain talk. Alison is the one we need to watch out for. And it's very telling to me that that moment at the end when the whole family came together and it was really lovely, Alison was nowhere to be seen and she took herself out of that equation. It worries me at where she's going and it frustrates me to no end. Victor actually gave so much more of a considered apology than he needed to, but considering the situation. What Alison did to him was far worse than what Victor did to her, if he even did anything. And the fact that Alison could kill anybody and literally not care shows you she's going down such a dark path, and I am very stressed and worried about it. The wedding was very sweet. I still think it's quite a rushed timeline, but I do suppose when you meet the one, you know. Worried about what Reginald is up to and excited for how the show is going to end. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.